And this is the third show of PCTechRadio. I hope you enjoyed that opening track. Today's show is the biggie. It's the motherlode. It's, well, how can you really put it, Vish? I mean, this is the ultimate test, right? Basically, this is the big one. This is the head honcho if it was a person.
The granddaddy of all battles.
That's the one. This is Internet Explorer versus
Firefox.
So basically, hopefully our audio levels are okay for this show. We've had some feedback, some positive, some negative feedback on the first two shows about the audio levels, and we are trying to correct them. Now, we do apologise. All our contact information is now up on the Facebook group on Facebook. Give a shout out to those guys. Hello out there. Now, basically, today's show, Vishal is actually back in the studio. Thank God.
I mean, I'm sure people could actually realise because I have been actually talking a few words. So if you didn't realise, may God be with you for the rest of your life.
Well, basically, Vish, people did say for like the first and second, for the first show, you know, you were a bit quiet, you know, and stuff like. But again, it comes down to nerves, doesn't it? I mean, this sort of.
It's not so much the nerves; it's do you actually want to talk on the show or not? I'd rather be someone doing stuff in the background, but I do talking as well. So.
And I actually got a text saying on the second show they thought you were in the studio, but you weren't actually there. I did say on that recording that Vishal was actually busy with his uni work. Now, as we did state in the first show, Vishal is a uni student. He does things for cheap, including purchasing of software. So but as we've said, this is the granddaddy of all shows. This is the granddaddy of battles. This is Internet Explorer versus Firefox, and we're going to get right into it after this UB40 track. So we hope you like it. We have to take a back seat, even though we know who has won this battle.
Yeah, we know who's won in our minds. We believe that we already know who's won.
Now, for those of you out there using Internet Explorer, we're not putting you guys down. We're not putting down the software. It's amazing that looking on various review websites out there on the net, you're looking at Firefox beating Internet Explorer hands down. But now, the only reason why I enjoy using Internet Explorer, Internet Explorer, what am I saying? I've got Firefox. I don't believe I've just said that. That is ridiculous. Now, you can stop laughing, Vish.
You can tell he hasn't had his breakfast today.
I haven't had my Weetabix, that's what it is. Right, basically, Internet Explorer, hands down, loses to Firefox, and this is proven simply because, I mean, back in the early days, I mean, we're talking back when Netscape was around, weren't we? I mean,
yeah.
Netscape is still around. You can still use it. I use it on occasion. And if you've got the old Netscape installation discs, it's worth keeping hold of. Now, I'll tell you something now. I use Firefox because it's fast, it's secure, and it's in my point of view, it's the best out there on the market. I mean, you know, it beats Internet Explorer 7 hands down. Now, there's rumours and speculations on Internet Explorer 7. There's been, you know, after 18 months of development, it looks shiny and new. It's amazing. It's got tab browsing. Whoa! But lo and behold, who came up with that first? Firefox.
And that was quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
Firefox had that when they originally came up with version 1, which was what, about 7-8 years ago.
Oh well,
I think longer than that.
Blimey hell, it's been years, I think. Quite a few years now. The Firefox to date, as we know, the latest one is 3.6.
Yeah, I think 3.6.
3.6, and as we know, Internet Explorer, is it 7 or 8 now? It's still 7, isn't it, at the moment? I don't think Internet Explorer 8 has hit.
Internet Explorer 8's come out, but I think it's the beta version, so it's not the official one.
So that hasn't been sort of...
Not officially yet.
Okay.
No.
So we're still on the beta version of Internet Explorer 8. So as far as our research is showing here in front of us. Now, you have to bear with us on today's show simply because we've done that much research. We've had to stick it on the laptop here in the studio, which basically is running slow as anything. Now, Internet Explorer brought in tab browsing after 18 months of development. Now, Firefox had that in its first or second edition, I believe it was, wasn't it? Ish. First or second did the tab browsing come into Firefox, or was it from the very...
From the very start.
I think it was from the start, wasn't it?
From the very start.
Now, everybody says, oh, Internet Explorer is safe, it's secure. Well, I've been bench testing Internet Explorer 7 and sort of getting visual here to bombard my laptop with all sorts of very nice little surprises, and lo and behold, my antivirus AVG picked up every single one of them, and it also tells me it was from the internet. So, because basically what I did was I told Visual to upload some RAR files, which, as people out there know, are WinRAR files, which are another form of zip file to compress data, documents, music, so you can send it across the internet. Now, I asked Visual to send me these, loaded with viruses, and lo and behold, I didn't open one until this morning, and it buggered up my laptop. Yes, I got the Autorun virus, which was very nice, thanks Vish. But Visual was very kind, and he did provide the cure for the Autorun virus, which actually we'll mention quite quickly. It's a
very good piece of software that I actually came across. And I think there was a free download for a trial use for it, for I think 14 days. And I came across it, and then I gave it to him, and I said to him, oh yeah, just check this, keep this. Because I was like, I know you keep a lot of USBs and external drives and stuff. He goes, alright, fine. Luckily, he actually saved it, and it came to use because he managed to get rid of the virus that was on his computer after that.
Yeah, well, again, according to all the results we found, Firefox beats Internet Explorer hands down. Simply not just for speed, download capability, and remembering your passwords automatically when you click remember. If it's if you register with various things like Facebook, you can remember your password and username. It allows you to do that. With Internet Explorer, it's quite different, isn't it, Vish? I mean, you have to save each tab, apparently, according to some reviews that I've come across. It says something about saving each tab if you want to bookmark it, whereas if you want to quit Internet Explorer, it will save all the tabs. So if you basically
sort of like had enough of it and you just want to close your browser, like it's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and you're tired and you want to go to bed, you're like, alright, X, click the X in the corner and okay, I'm going to bed.
Or do what I did, click it to close it, and then realise there's information on there that you needed, and then you think, oh god, Firefox can burn in hell, it's just lost all my information. You boot it back up, lo and behold, it's still there, which is quite... But with Internet Explorer, each tab you open, you have to save it, and it will remember your passwords on each tab and your usernames, but it's one of these where you know, it still beats it hands down. I mean, we've got results in front of us from CNET, which is the parent company of Downloads.com. According to this graph we found on, I think it's Franken browser. Let's have a look at this. Let's just see if we... Bear with us, we're having that's it, Frankenfight browsers. Now, they've compiled a graph which is available on their website from 4 major
basically
provide
PC reviewers and software reviewers.
Yeah. Now, CNET, which is the parent company of Downloads.com, or they are Downloads.com, should we say? They've got Firefox beating Internet Explorer to a pulp, basically. would you call that a pulp? Or?
Yeah, I would say in the percentages about 15-20%.
Well,
ahead of them.
Put it this way: if it was the London Marathon, Internet Explorer would be having a heart attack and being rushed to the hospital right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Basically, Firefox has already got to the finish line. Internet Explorer isn't even halfway yet.
Yeah. Now, PC World. Now, I'm assuming they're a bit biased because I know they try and flog Internet Explorer to the death to their customers. I mean, they've got it by, say, 5-6% to Firefox. Now, you have to remember, PC World, although it's a good company, they tend to go with industry standard, which is basically they will sell you Internet Explorer. They won't give you any alternatives like Netscape or Firefox. They will try and sell you the main packages, won't they, Vish?
Yeah, they always do.
I mean, it's like they won't tell you that when you buy a laptop from them, it's cheaper to basically get your warranty from the manufacturer. I mean, Acer, for example, they did a 5-year warranty for £99 a while back, which covered everything, didn't it? I mean, you could get your damage covered and everything. But again, I'm going off again, Vish. I'm sorry. I do apologise. This is Firefox versus Internet Explorer, so basically we're going to stick to that. And again, results from WSJ, which I think is a computer magazine. I'm not too sure. Again, it's a close one from them. It's got Internet Explorer about 10-15% below Firefox. So again, it's Firefox is still in the lead, and then you've got Computer World, which is a definite software review, hardware review, computer magazine here in the UK. I'm not sure whether it's available in the United States, so I've never looked into that. It's definitely a clear 20% from the look of that, Vish?
No, about 15-20%.
Okay. Now, basically, ladies and gentlemen who are listening out there, as we've already stated, we're quite biased on this show, simply because we're Firefox users. The simple fact is, there's so much you can do with Firefox, it's unreal. I mean, the differences are the interface, basically. Unlike Internet Explorer 7, which has recognised its toolbar, Firefox can changes only the look and feel of its buttons. I mean, you've seen it yourselves. Internet Explorer is completely changed. It's got a different toolbar, different stuff, hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, Internet Explorer have tried basically to do everything that what Firefox has already been doing, and it's just trying to make itself look a little bit better. Whereas when Firefox came out originally, it was on a completely different planet. It was something that no other browser was able to be doing or has done before.
Yeah.
So Internet Explorer has basically just said, here you go, you've made something good. What we're going to do is we're going to copy it and just try and make it a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Firefox made another version, it outdid it again, and it was a lot better than what Internet Explorer could do.
As we've stated, Firefox is on 3.6 and still going strong, and I think it will go strong past Internet Explorer. Now, changes to the look and feel of Firefox. I mean, I remember Firefox with the square buttons, and now it's got circle buttons. It's got all these new add-ons and all these new tips and tricks and accessories, and it basically, it's all the bells and whistles you could ever want. Basically, it's much more sophisticated, and it looks a lot more, I'd say, sexy, to be honest. I love it to death. I mean, Firefox to me is my Internet Explorer.
Well, the other thing as well, which we'll come to later on, is about user friendliness. You can do updated themes and stuff on your browser, so you can get your browser to look like the way you want it to look. Whereas with Internet Explorer, you can't do anything. You're just stuck with the way it looks.
And the one thing that really annoys me, every time you boot up Internet Explorer, I mean, I don't know if you notice this, Vish, it always lands on MSN as your homepage. Always. I mean, we know it's we know it's made by Microsoft, but do we have to keep being reminded of the fact that they make it? You know, whereas Firefox, you can, yes, in Internet Explorer you can change it to Google or something like along those lines.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're like me and you love Internet Explorer, you're going to basically want Google to be there when you boot up, because Google to me is the main search engine on the web, as we've mentioned. I mean,
by a mile.
You've got Lycos, you've got Alta Vista, you've got other ones, but it just makes Firefox that much faster and that much quicker. Whereas on MSN, I think what they're trying to do too much by automatically putting you onto MSN, even though you can change it to Google. But I've noticed on Internet Explorer, I don't know if any of you have out there, that it can slow it down. I mean, I don't know whether you've noticed that, Vish, but when you switch it to, when you think, oh god, not MSN again, I'm going to switch it to Google, it does slow it down, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah, Internet Explorer is very bad. I mean, from what we've already said, we've already shown that Firefox has already won the battle. But don't worry, we'll continue to give Internet Explorer, a good beating.
Yeah, we'll try and do our utmost to
try and make it look like it's a good browser, but it's kind of hard to when there's nothing that it's actually better at than Firefox.
Yeah, but the thing is, it doesn't help having two people that are biased against Internet Explorer either. I mean, at the end of the day, one of the biggest things for me is with Firefox is just the reliability of it and how secure it is. And at the end of the day, it's just another good internet browser to me. Now, we're going to play a tune, and we will be back after this track. It's from The Lonely Island, featuring T-Pain, and this is called I'm on a Boat. Okay, that was The Lonely Island, I'm on a Boat, featuring T-Pain. Now, back to this. I mean, at the end of the day, Internet Explorer has never had a good reputation, as far as I'm aware, apart from the earlier versions, which were obviously all that you could get your hands on. Because as far as I'm aware, all it used to be was Netscape and Internet Explorer, and then comes along this young upstart called Firefox.
And AOL.
Oh yeah, AOL had their own version of their own browser. Now, it's if you still use AOL, then sorry, have to laugh. I had AOL Internet a while ago, and they have their own browser, which is now integrated with Internet Explorer, isn't it? Now,
and AOL was probably the worst browser I've ever come across in my life. Sorry for the AOL users, but seriously, you need a new browser.
Yeah,
it's 2010. Come on,
Firefox, go for Fire. Sorry, I know we're being biased here, but come on, Firefox all the way for me.
Yeah, we'll say Firefox to you now, and then we'll explain in the show why we're saying Firefox.
But basically, some of the biggest changes, we're going to start with Internet Explorer, I think. Some of the biggest changes for it, aside from the overall interface redesign and its tab browsing, the tabs, it's good. It follows along the Firefox methodology of tab browsing, and they can also be recorded. It's also a couple of other things. What have we got here in my notes? I do apologise to listeners again. We are going off notes that we've written in this show. And basically, for those who use RSS feeds, now that isn't treated lightly with Internet Explorer. In fact, Microsoft built an entire RSS reader and bundled it in with the browser, but you have no way to quickly preview feeds, contents, without opening feeds. Without
rendered in the page for the Internet Explorer.
Yeah, exactly.
Which basically just defeats the actual purpose of you having an RSS feed in there.
I mean, because from my understanding, I know your software side of it, Vish. I mean, from my understanding, RSS is basically software orientated, isn't it? But it's meant to be instant. It's meant to be, you can have it there and then.
Yeah. See, Firefox 2 made the RSS feed understandable, so it actually offers a good range of subscription options and stuff. Whereas IE is just useless.
It basically tried to, I think what they've tried to do is try to do too much to compete with Firefox, haven't they?
Yeah, they've tried to make too many changes and do too much over a quick amount of time and release something, because Firefox has gone at such a phenomenal rate. More and more users every day were downloading Firefox and changing over. So Internet Explorer thought, what we'll do is we'll release something that's just enough. Doesn't matter how many errors we've got on it, we'll just keep doing updates to it.
Yeah.
And then they tried that. So when it came out, people who were using Firefox said, alright, let me see what Internet Explorer is like. All the new Internet Explorers, oh, this is brilliant. Firefox users were like, this is just rubbish. Firefox is still better than it.
Yeah. I mean, 18 months to everybody out there seems a long time, but it actually isn't in software development, is it? I mean, it's quite a short period of time.
18 months of software development is quite short. I mean, all the major companies in the world spend 3-4 years sometimes making a piece of software.
Yeah.
Big pieces of software.
I
spend
mean,
a lot of time doing it.
You've got games that that take less time than that, and obviously you see the bad effects that has. I mean, for an internet browser, you want stability, you want security, you want fast and efficient browsing. But again, Internet Explorer, we're quite biased because we both use Internet Explorer. Now,
Firefox.
I've done it again, haven't I, Vish? I've done it
today.
again. Second time in this show that I do apologise. It's Firefox. Right, okay, Firefox. Let me get that. Firefox. We use Firefox. That's it, better. Right, basically, it's a case of, they've tried to do too much in a short space of time, and at the end of the day, like we've said, Firefox made the raw RSS feed understandable and offers a wide range of new subscription options. Possibly the newest and coolest feature is the live titles, formerly micro summaries, which allows websites to stream updated date to your bookmarks. Now, basically, if you've got an RSS feed, it automatically updates from the website that you've got the subscription from. Now, add-ons.
Where basically
Add-ons, it's
add-ons
major
is where,
differences.
Add-ons is where Internet Explorer just completely loses, because Firefox has got so many add-ons that you can have. I mean, I've got one called Adblocker Plus.
I mean, how many did you show me the other day? I mean, you've got YouTube Downloader for Firefox. You've got Adblocker Plus. You've got Ad Remover. So, if, for example, if you're on Facebook, you get all the adverts on the side, and
even when you log into Hotmail, if you've got a Hotmail and you log into Hotmail, you've got the little bar on the side and you've got a little bar at the top with advertisements. and it's literally just bombarded with advertisements everywhere. Everyone knows that you can't get rid of them. Well, you can if you got Adblocker Plus. All you do is you go into Mozilla's site and you go to Add-Ons and you add it in. It'll ask you to restart Firefox. As soon as you restart it, guarantee you 90 to 95% of all your adverts will disappear. Even if adverts are still there, you can right-click it and go adblock image, and then it will say, do you wish to remove this image? And you say yes. That image will never reload itself ever again. And you can do that manually, and you can do that by getting updates and stuff and scripts that other people have made with lists and stuff. You can get that as well. That gets rid of all your advertisements and stuff, and it gets rid of trackers and stuff that you have as well. So if you go to a site and it's got a tracker and that's actually reading it, you can class that as a bit of a how could you put it, hacking your computer.
Yeah, but again, all these add-ons for internet. I was just about to do that again. All your add-ons for Firefox are free. They are completely free, which is absolutely brilliant. Whereas some of your Internet Explorer add-ons, due to some research we've done, aren't free. You have to pay a small fee for them. And basically, you can enable and disable and delete add-ons on IE's Manager, Internet Explorer's add-on manager, and you can do the same in Firefox. But the difference is, it's not very user-friendly. It falls by the wayside, and
because many of these so-called add-ons that you have for Internet Explorer, they're not actually designed to work directly inside Internet Explorer and actually integrate itself with the browser. So if something goes wrong, it's not going to work. Firstly, it might not work correctly when you've actually tried to integrate it with the browser. So that makes the whole point of you having an add-on pointless.
Yeah.
So what's the point in you doing that? So are you just going to have the browser by itself without being able to make any changes? If that's the case, Internet Explorer is already a mile behind Firefox.
Yeah, because all your add-ons are completely free, and if you want to get rid of them, it's user-friendly. You can even disable them. I mean, you don't have to uninstall them, do you, Vish? I mean, you can just disable the app.
Yeah.
And whereas probably, and as we've already stated, the way that Internet Explorer have gone about it, it's not very user-friendly, and for a software company not to produce not user-friendly thing for people who are going to use it. I mean, maybe our Internet Explorer user listeners are probably screaming down the speakers at us, what the hell are you two talking about? You're biased anyway. We have done a lot of research before this show. We've gone to various review websites and checked out what they have to say, and I'll tell you what, some of the details are startling. And
my simple thing is that the people who use Internet Explorer, I guarantee you probably never used Firefox before in your life. Until you haven't played with both of them, don't shout and scream at your speakers, because I've used Internet Explorer and I've used Firefox, so I can say, and I can be biased, and I can give my opinion and say Firefox is better than Internet Explorer.
I will hold my hand up and admit to when I first connected to the internet via the old dial-up system. God, that's going back a while. Dial-up, man. With the old internet service provider FreeServe. Oh my God, that's even going back even further. I'm showing my bloody age. I can't believe I'm 30 in a week's time. That's it, 30. Oh God.
I know.
You know,
his old age has already been kicking him for a while.
Yeah, as you can tell, I've made some mistakes in this show. Primarily the worst one by saying that we use Internet Explorer instead of that we use Firefox. So, you know, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, one thing that also differs with Firefox is the developers want you to give feedback all the time. So, and they listen, and they do listen to your feedback.
Yeah, so do the people that actually make add-ons and stuff.
Yeah,
because most of the add-ons are not actually made by Firefox.
A lot of them are third party, aren't they, Vish?
A lot of them are third party, so other people have made them. But Firefox state anyway that when you download it, say it's a third party add-on. So if anything goes wrong, do not blame us for it, which is basically trying to say, if you download it, it's your problem to download it.
Yeah, and it's at your own risk because it's third party.
Yeah, but we do say to everyone, if you download it, have a look at the reviews that people have written on it, and read up on reviews. Read up on reviews for every piece of software that you ever get, whether it's free or you paid for it. Make sure you read up on it and actually look at it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, again, we're not shying away from the fact that we are biased and we do love Firefox. I mean, at the end of the day, it's one of those. But one of the main distinct differences between the two is, I would say, Microsoft will never let people develop for IE. You know, as in, they will ask for your feedback, but they will never take that feedback on board, from my point of view, whereas Firefox do all the time. You know, they want to hear your feedback. That's how they improve, and that's how we've got to 3.6 in the Firefox genre so far.
I'm not being rude, or I'm not being biased, or I'm not being actually stereotypical or anything, but you tell me, would a billionaire who's worth over £50 billion listen to a guy who's not even worth £50,000?
Yeah.
Give his opinion.
Well,
whereas with Firefox came from scratch and started with barely anything, and now they're a big company, but they listen to their users.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
That is the main difference that I like about Firefox, because you do get listened to when you give your feedback, even if it's. I mean, yeah, you can send stupid feedback if your Firefox crashes, for example. I mean, it happened to me a couple of times in the past where I've had Firefox crash on me, and I've sent feedback saying, do you know what, I wish you'd be able to make it to stop crashing. But, you know, that is a bit of a silly feedback. But they probably took that on board, and the reason for that is, I mean, there's various reasons.
Yeah, every time, if Firefox is sort of like, it's crashed on me a few times as well. But that's been because of the actual sites that I've been on. So it's like the site's actually crashed, and then it's caused Firefox to crash. I've opened it in Internet Explorer and it's done exactly the same thing, so it's not actually Firefox causing the problem, it's the site. But when I've sent the feedback report to them about what's gone wrong, every time that it's crashed, I've sent a feedback report to them.
Yeah.
They actually want you to send a feedback report to them. You can cancel it and not send it, but I think, why not just send it? I mean,
because
it's just going to make it better. And
you will receive. I think. Have you ever received once you've sent the feedback report? Have you ever received an email from Firefox stating what you could do to sort of change your browsing habit?
I haven't, but I actually know a few people that have.
Yeah. So I mean, they won't contact everybody who sends one of those reports, but they probably, if it's serious enough for them to contact and say, look, you know, maybe you want to not go onto these sites, or if you want to, you know, at the end of the day, it's one of those. Now, after this next song break, this is one of our artists under review. Now, it's Miley Cyrus's new album. We're going to put this under review. We have a couple of artists that we're going to be reviewing over the next couple of shows. This is off her new album, Time of Our Lives, and this is I think it's a #1 single, Vish?
I think so, yeah.
In the States? Yeah, this is, I think it's high up in the charts in the States anyway. This is Miley Cyrus and Party in the USA. Her #1 hit single, I believe, from the States, off her new album, Time of Our Lives. I think it's a good party tune, a good dance track. I mean, I know people are going to call me an idiot and my music taste is crap, but at the end of the day, I don't care. I listen to music that I want to listen to, and I enjoy it. What do you reckon?
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, exactly. Now, during the song break, me and Vishal were having a discussion. Now, we've come across. Now, we have to be very careful how we put this. Now, we're going into the security section between Internet Explorer 7 and Firefox.
Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to basically count. So we're going to say
we're gonna
1 point to Internet Explorer, 1 point to Firefox.
Yeah, we're gonna score Internet Explorer and Firefox in this. So You can class it as a football match. For the Americans listening, it's a soccer game. But, you know, we invented the sport, so I think we should call it football. You know what I mean? Right. No offence intended. It's just a pun. I mean, you know, right. Basically, security enhancements for Firefox do continue. New as a dialog box information for you, informing you of cross-domain scripting, a tactic used by criminal hackers to link non-related sites to sites you may think be legit. Now, this is actually improved in 3.6 because we are talking about Firefox 2.0, which is what I use at the moment. This has been improved on 3.6. You get a big red box come up, I believe, saying potential threat.
Yeah, big red box comes up. Potential threat that the site you may be going on might
be a forgery, basically.
Might be a forged site. And then what it basically says to you is, it warns you and says, please do not proceed to this site. If you still wish to proceed, do it at your own risk. Otherwise, it's got another one saying, get me out of here, and then it will go back to your homepage for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't actually know going under.
This is where I think we have to say 1 point to Firefox.
Firefox 1, Internet Explorer 0.
Yeah. Now, this is where Internet Explorer shoots itself in the foot and scores an own goal, so this is going to be 2-0 to Firefox. I'm laughing because basically Firefox's default protection program that is integrated with the browser stops at comparing sites against known blacklists of... am I reading that right, Vish? Stops at comparing sites against a known blacklist of phasing sites, while Internet Explorer 7 includes site analysis that will try and warn you about a suspicious site, even if it's not yet on a blacklist. Now, if it's a legitimate site from my point of view, and it's about to be put on a blacklist, I think that's pretty diabolical if Internet Explorer try and, you know, stop it from being viewed.
Yeah, so for example, imagine you were on PayPal to pay for something, and then they turned around and said, oh, it's actually not a legit site.
Exactly.
Wouldn't let you in.
Now, this is where Internet Explorer shoots itself in the foot. According to one review website that I went on, they found that Internet Explorer consistently failed to catch am I pronouncing that right? Phasing sites less than an hour old, although IE7 caught all phasing sites known for at least 1 hour or more. Is it phasing?
Or whatever it is. I
mean, pronunciations aren't my strong point. I do apologise to everybody listening. Now, you can also get a new fixed settings for me feature that warns you if you reset your security settings to something Microsoft deems unsafe. Now, that's only if they deem it's unsafe, not that you deem it's unsafe.
Right, by the way, I forgot to say about the 1 hour old sites and stuff getting caught. Firefox 3, Internet Explorer 0. And this one with the fixed settings for me, Firefox 4, Internet Explorer 0.
Yeah, so that's 4 goals to Internet Explorer 0. Right. Now, overall, the new IE, Internet Explorer 7, possibly 8 now, isn't it? It's got, it's had many more security fixes than the revised Firefox. Now, that means there has been a lot more problems with Internet Explorer than people have been previously aware of. I mean, some of the problems that I've had are, for example, it's been prone to allow some serious threats onto my PC in the past. I mean, that's how I got... I mean, I was still using Internet Explorer when I got Blaster, for example, and that was that horrible worm that would pop up with a box saying you've got a minute to save all your programs, all your work, and then it would shut down your computer. And it was a git to get off your system. I mean, when you used Internet Explorer all that time ago, did you ever come across any severe problems of viruses coming through, susceptible to viruses due to lack of security.
Oh yeah, I mean, like what did I do? I gave something to download from my friend that I had. I think I had something like a text document or something that was quite large, so I didn't bother emailing it. I uploaded it onto a server. Now these servers are legit because I've downloaded stuff off there that I've uploaded for other people as well. Other people have put up for me, like for example, free software and stuff, and
shareware and
ebooks and stuff like that.
It is not illegal. We've just got to make this point, Bish, because otherwise people may think we're downloading stuff. It's not illegal to share shareware or freeware. It's only illegal if you upload legitimate software like Windows XP, Office.
That you actually have to pay for to get. I can upload AVG right now, the free version, not the pro version.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to upload the pro version. If they find out that I've uploaded the pro version, I can get thrown in jail.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but anyway, back to the show. I mean, remember the score? 4-0 to Firefox. Now, again, we've said that, you know, it is susceptible, and I think the problem with that is they try and rush these things that, we have to remember now, Windows and Internet Explorer are separate companies now due to that famous court case that was wrangled through the High Court, where they said Microsoft was dominating two markets and they had to separate their company, wasn't it, Vish?
Yeah. There's another one as well where basically, how could I put it to you? You get any new Windows, so even if you got XP, if you got Vista or Windows 7, what Microsoft used to do before was they used to put a Windows Media Player and Internet Explorer already integrated with the actual thing, operating system. Now, what happened was they got taken to court on that, where basically what the court turned around and said is, you're basically making them use that, because if you have it already there on your system, will you bother to download something else?
Yeah, exactly. You know,
you just say, I've already got this, I might as well just use this now. Whereas if you said to them, okay, you've got a choice of what you can pick from that, you can pick from all these browsers and all these media players and stuff, then it's up to the person who's actually using the computer what they want.
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, for me, this is the most important thing. Security for me on my PC is first and foremost. I mean, I hate viruses like the
one today.
Yeah, like the one today. But basically, at the end of the day, it's very, very clear that Firefox, Mozilla, the company Mozilla, listen to your feedback. They always have done, and they always will do. Listen to the customers' feedback, and they will act on it. I mean, they may not email you back and say thank you for your feedback or anything like that, will they, Vish? I mean, they'll act on it immediately. I mean, you know, they'll integrate it into the next version of Firefox, which will be, I still say, by the time we get Firefox 4.5, let me get my words out. I think it will blow Internet Explorer 8 out of the water, because thing is, I would say IE is still 2 years, 3 years behind, maybe more behind Firefox than
probably 4 years.
Yeah,
and that's saying Mozilla are going to do absolutely nothing in 4 years and leave the browser exactly the same, which is going to be impossible, because they're always wanting to make it there.
Yes. They're always wanting to update it. They're always wanting your feedback. They're always, you know, asking for the better.
Yeah, because
I mean, I can't get my words out because
there's an interesting thing that I'm reading just now that I actually kind of like knew about, but I knew about it, but I didn't think of it in this way.
Yeah, go on.
Which is basically Internet Explorer. They've had loads of security fixes and stuff than the older Firefoxes, but older Firefox versions had good security already, so there wasn't much needed to get upgraded. Whereas with Internet Explorer, it had so many holes in the security. Internet Explorer 6 had so many holes in security. They needed to make that improvement. Otherwise, it would have just been pointless in them making Internet Explorer 7.
Also, another point in our notes, with Internet Explorer 7, The default security level has been raised from medium, which is the Internet Explorer 6 default, to medium high. Not only that, but there is no more lower security levels than medium. I mean, I don't know why they've done that. I don't know why they've removed that, because, you know, that's, again, they're restricting your options, aren't they?
Yeah.
Again, and whereas Firefox never ever restrict your options.
By the way, that one about Internet Explorer 6 having many holes in the security, that was 5-0. This is now 6-0.
Yeah. We have to keep the good score line going. You know what I mean? But you know that I can't believe. I mean, at the end of the day, if the security, especially in business, personal, no matter what it is, browser security is first and foremost. Yep. You know, I mean, you're not going to want... I mean, yeah, it's okay having it at medium high, but at the end of the day, you also want options for low-level security.
I mean, you don't want medium high security when you're just browsing on Facebook or you're browsing on a Google search engine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, also in our notes here it says, you know, the most important new security feature for Internet Explorer 7 is called something called Protected Mode, which stops websites from changing your computer's important files or settings. But, and this is a big but, and this is, what's the score now, Vish?
It's now
7-0. This will only work in new version of Windows Vista. So, you know, and I'm assuming they're going to continue on to only allow that to work in Windows 7. Now, what amazes me also, we're going to get into it after our next artist under review. Now, Vishal is going to start peeing himself laughing in a second once I play this track. I'm only going to play about, I would say, a minute, because otherwise you're going to start tearing your speakers out the wall and you're going to throw them out the window. I'm only going to do this as an intro to his new album. This is an old classic, and then I will introduce the artist by one of his new songs. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Almost wetting himself laughing there. This is Billy Ray Cyrus off his new album Back to Tennessee, which we are reviewing here in the studio. This is Thrillbilly off the same album. Okay, that was Billy Ray Cyrus and Thrillbilly. Our next artist up after this next segment is Matt Round and his songs Trips to Heaven. Now, I pronounced this song in the second show as Trips. It's actually called Trips to Heaven. That's by Matt Round, and this is after this segment. Now, where did we get to, Vish? We've done security. I think we should do performance, I think, of both.
So, we'll continue the score. It was, what,
7-0? 7-0. I can't believe that. Absolutely gobsmacked. I didn't think it would get that far. Now, obviously, we want your opinions. We want to know what you think of the differences between Firefox and between Internet Explorer. So, the email addresses are up on the Facebook group now. I put them up yesterday. We'll give our email addresses out. Mine's David at PCTechRadio.com.
And mine's is Vishal at PCTechRadio.com.
So, basically, get in touch with us. Let us know. Even if it's just to let us know what you think about the show, it's more than appreciated. And hopefully, fingers crossed, our audio levels are perfect today. Again, we're going to be hitting the 2-hour mark simply because we've got a lot to go through. It's a big show. As we said, it's Internet Explorer versus Firefox. And at the minute, Internet Explorer isn't doing very well. It's dying at death.
7-0 to Firefox.
It's dying...
7-0 to Firefox.
It's dying at death's door. It's actually crawling across the battlefield with so many bullet holes in it. I don't think it will last.
No, it hasn't lasted. It's died from the first shot.
What, straight through the heart and head?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go on performance now, as we said. Now, Internet Explorer 7. We're just going to let you know, we are comparing Internet Explorer 2.0 to Internet Explorer 7, even though...
Firefox 2.0.
Oh, I've done
Third
it.
time.
I've done it again. I've done it again. I cannot believe I've done it. Stop laughing at me. That's not fair. It's my old age, okay? This is the only time I'm going to use the excuse. I'm 30 next week, and it's my old age creeping up on me. My memory's going. Okay, it's Firefox 2.0 and Internet Explorer 7. But basically, what we're going to do now is we're going to go on performance, as we said. Now, what surprises me in our research notes here is Internet Explorer 7 is still essentially using the Internet Explorer 4 web engine. So that means it's 3 versions behind. Is my count right? 3 versions behind?
Yep.
Firefox, because basically Mozilla have updated the web engine of Firefox 1.5, which was their very first version according to my research notes.
And it still remains a faster browser. That goes on to the next point that we've had. So by the way, that's 8 now.
Yeah, that's 8-0.
Right. And then what quite a few people have done is they've done tests and stuff about after you've installed and used Internet Explorer 7 with I think 3 tabs being open. Internet Explorer 7 uses 80 megs of RAM.
80? That's a lot. That's a lot of... Oh, God.
Whereas Firefox is only using 58. So we'll round that up. We'll say that's 60. It's using 20 megs of less RAM.
So
the thing is, before...
I've got to ask, was this under similar conditions between the two?
Yep, both done on the same computer.
Okay, so you've heard that here. It's under similar conditions.
Yep.
Now, this is in our research notes. This is under similar conditions. Now, I must admit, we've slammed together these research notes for this show, and we haven't actually read them until now. And some of this stuff is actually quite surprising to me, as well as to visual.
Yeah, I definitely know about using memory on there. That Internet Explorer has always been worse. Internet Explorer is a lot slower. I mean, one that I've heard of a couple of users was that Firefox can keep 7 tabs open, and that will use the same amount of RAM as Internet Explorer with 1.
So, hold on. So, you're saying basically, with 7 tabs open in Firefox,
Yep.
it uses the 80 meg?
Yeah.
Obviously, because it's 7 tabs. And now, oh my God, that... Do you know what? For people listening, I never ever knew the memory usage for Internet Explorer was this dire. I mean
that's not something that's been done and actually been made formal or anything. This is what other users that have used it have told me about. So what they've tried to turn around and say is you can open a lot more tabs in Firefox and it will use the same, if not less, RAM than what Internet Explorer will use. But Internet Explorer is basically using more RAM and not having a lot of tabs open as well.
I mean, you know the installation when you install Internet Explorer. What's the standard disk space it uses at?
What? No, I'm talking about RAM, not actual.
Yeah, but also, I mean, if we're comparing RAM, if we do the installation bit as well, I mean,
I think installation-wise, there's not much difference between them. I mean,
but it's just the memory usage then.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, either way, if Internet Explorer uses 50 megs of space on your hard disk, Firefox may use 45 or 55, but you've got a computer with at least 20 gigs on there. 50 megs and 55 megs or 45 megs isn't going to make much of a difference.
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, okay, if it was 50 and 150, then we could at least argue the case.
Exactly. But there's
no
no point arguing that case then. I mean, but I'll tell you something, that's shocking. I mean, I did not, I did not know Internet Explorer used that much memory. I mean, 80 meg, that's a lot.
Yep.
That's a hell of a lot.
I mean, I remember once I actually had to reformat my computer, and I was like, okay, I've got to go in and I've got to download Firefox now. So I opened up Internet Explorer, which, as we said before, is already built in with Windows, so I didn't have much of a choice. So I opened up Internet Explorer, and then I was like, alright, let me just check all my normal stuff. So I go on about 6 or 7 different sites. So I opened 6 or 7 different sites, and I had Media Player open, because I've got all my music, and I've got all my other stuff on my external hard disk. So I opened up Media Player and I opened up Internet Explorer. Now at this point I had 512 megs of DDR2 RAM, and Windows came up and said your virtual memory is low. I only had 8 tabs open, Internet Explorer and Windows Media Player. I had nothing else open. No MSN, absolutely nothing else open.
And it come, oh my
And it
god!
came up and said you haven't got enough RAM left. That it's getting a bit low. You need to close some programs down so we've got a bit more RAM on the computer.
Oh my god! So basically, not only does it cause RAM deficiency, shall we say?
Causes your computer to slow down as well.
Yeah. Okay. And
one other thing as well in terms of performance. When you double click and open the browser, Firefox is a lot more quicker than Internet Explorer.
yeah, a hell of a lot.
Firefox will open within about 3 or 4 seconds. Internet Explorer will take about 5 to 10 seconds to open.
I'm really restraining my my words here because I really want to swear, because basically.
So by the way, is that 9 no or 10 no?
I think we've lost count after 8. So
I think we'll say 10-0 based on the amount of RAM it uses and based.
I would say that. I mean, some random tidbits for those listening. I mean, Firefox 2 and probably 3.6 as well. Also gives you the ability to correct your spelling mistakes online, just like using your standard word processor. Like if you're using Office Word, it also once you have access to the inline spell checking, you won't want to surf the web without it. Trust me, it's one worth doing.
Firefox 11, Internet Explorer no.
Yeah, and accessibility features for Internet Explorer 7. It includes a zoom technology and a new clear type page of paper, whatever that is. Okay. Clear type page technology, which means it's probably see-through, isn't it?
Yeah, Microsoft basically claimed that it renders the page fonts as sharp and as clear as those printed on a piece of paper. Which, okay, fair enough. It might look a little bit better than that. But
so they've scored a goal. So they've got 1. We have to give them that. Even if you zoom to a maximum level of 400%, the clear text technology with Internet Explorer 7 remains quite clear with fonts. So that's 2. Give them 2, because I mean we're at 10 with Firefox.
11.
These are soft touch goals, guys. Soft touch goals. We're not being
11 2, and then there's another one that just as a zoom feature is a nice innovation from 5.
You did it then. You did it. Not me. That was Visual making a mistake. But basically,
I'm used to being so biased. So it's a good point. I'm used to saying Firefox.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. But basically, guys, again, you can understand why we use Firefox and not Internet Explorer nowadays. I mean, I would say it's about half and half at the moment. I'm only guessing here. I'd say half and half around the world use Internet Explorer and half use Firefox. But if you're ever going to convert, come over to the Foxy way of doing things and get Firefox. Seriously, it is the daddy of all internet browsers these days. And I would say if you ever get the chance, get Internet Explorer off your computer, throw it out the window, and just use Firefox. Seriously.
Yep. I mean, to be honest, we said at the beginning that we knew why we were being biased. And, we admitted that we were being biased, but now you can see why we're being biased.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't want to be biased. It's just that through our experiences and the various computers that we've owned since the age of 13, 14, we've been stuck with, you use Internet Explorer, you use Media Player. I mean, in a later show we're going to discuss VLC Media Player, which I think is a bigger and better than.
And I've got an argument with that one as well.
Oh, here we go. I've
got Cowan Jet Audio,
Right.
And I've been using that, and I'm actually not being funny, but I've been using that now for the last 2.5, 3 years. And let me basically put it to you this way. I played a simple song, and any song that I've found, I've played it. I played it with Windows Media Player.
Okay.
And literally what I've said to someone is, here you go, have a listen to this. They've heard it and they go, alright, yeah. And then what I've done is, I've dragged the song and I've put it in the Jet Audio Player, double clicked it, no add-ons, no equalizer, nothing changed, basic settings after being installed,
Okay.
no changes made. The sound is about 30 times crisper.
Okay. Now, that's going to make for an interesting show. I think we should do that. VLC Media Player versus Jet Audio. Now, as you can see, we're sitting on opposite sides of the fence here in the studio for that one. But basically, again, back to what we're discussing, which is Internet Explorer versus Firefox. Now, we'll get to our conclusion in a bit after we play another artist on review, which is Matt Round, and this is Trips of Heaven, and this is the second song out of 3 that we've got to play for Matt. I think later on down the line, when we do a basic maintenance show, we'll do a complete basic maintenance show, and then we'll do a complete review thing. We'll put some rap in there, we'll put some R&B, and we'll spread it out with all the albums that to be honest, even though we are doing basic PC stuff for people out there and basic software reviews, we're going to try our utmost to play some decent music. It's not just music that we like to hear and stuff, but we hope it's music that you like to hear. I mean, Vishal's the R&B man with the rap thrown in. Me, I'm a bit of everything, country, pop, God knows what else I've got in my iPod.
I mean, realistically, me and him can't just throw anything in that we want. I mean, if I threw in stuff that I want, the stuff that I listen to is basically got about an average of about 3 swear words on every single line of the song.
So basically, all you'd hear is bleep, bleep, bleep.
Basically, that would be your song. So.
Right. This song I actually mispronounced, and Matt, I do apologise, I am sorry. The full title of this song is Trips of Heaven, I believe, and this is by our artist under review, along with Billy Ray Cyrus and a few other artists that we're going to play songs of today. This is Trips of Heaven by Matt Round from Northampton, and I hope you like it as much as I did. Okay, that was Matt Round and Trips of Heaven. Hope you enjoyed that like I did when I first listened to it. Now, back to Internet Explorer versus Firefox. I think it's a non-contest at this point, to be honest.
I'm sorry to show my biasness, but it was never a contest in the first place.
Yeah, well, let me get my words right, Vish. At the end of the day, it was never going to be any contest. The Firefox users out there know it wasn't going to be a contest. Now, in conclusion, basically, even though IE has taken a pretty big step forward from its predecessor versions, it's only attempted to really catch up with its competitors. I think it's just having facelifts to catch up, isn't it?
Well, that's mainly because Firefox has taken a new browser to the world and just said, here you go, we've taken it to the next level. We've got tons of new great features. We can put loads of add-ons and stuff on. It's got better security. It looks better.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
You can alter it.
Firefox from 1.5 has always had better security.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I mean,
not to mention the speed of when you're browsing, the speed of when you're opening the browser, and the amount of RAM that it uses as well on your computer. So the speed of your computer will change as well with you using Firefox. So really, it's a no-win. It's a no-win for Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
It never had a chance ever.
I mean,
ever.
At the end of the day,
ever in its life.
The last time I used Internet Explorer was when I was on dial-up.
Yeah.
I started with, as I said at the top of the show, I started with Netscape. That was with the internet service provider FreeServe, which I believe is still going. I think I haven't heard much of them recently.
They might have renamed themselves or been taken over and basically, you know,
amalgamated within that company. Yeah. But I had Netscape. Then I stupidly went away from Netscape. I don't ask me why, Vish, but I stupidly went away from it and started using Internet Explorer. Now you can slap me across the head if you want, but at the time, ow. At the time, basically, I was persuaded by a friend to start using it. Now, to let you understand why I'm mentioning this, it's because when I started using Internet Explorer, I noticed that my computer was running slower.
Yep.
I was getting a lot more spyware and adware picked up, which we're going to go into on our basic maintenance section, which obviously hasn't been on today's show, and the reason for that is we wanted to dive straight in and get into this non-contest between Firefox and Internet Explorer. So basically, it will be back.
Notice how we said Firefox first, then Internet Explorer.
Yes.
Firefox number one, Internet Explorer will always be number two.
Yeah, in our book anyway, and of course we are biased, but hopefully you can see our reason why. The security on Internet Explorer leaves something to be desired. I mean, this is my conclusion of it. To be honest, I wouldn't use Internet Explorer if you paid me £1 million. Now, when they improve their security, then maybe I'd give it a look, but not to use, because Firefox is constantly changing. You're getting better add-ons. You're getting better
security updates.
Better security. I mean, they don't even update Firefox. The only time they update it is when they bring out a new version. So when the new version's available, which is 3.6 at the moment, you're talking, they've already done all your security updates. You've got new add-ons to play with. I mean, God, I mean, we mentioned a few at the top. I mean, there's so many add-ons to
you can actually go on Firefox's site. You can actually have a look at what they've actually got, and apparently, I think last time I went, they had something like a good 10,000-15,000 themes. That's just themes.
Is that just themes for Firefox?
Just themes for Firefox. So I mean, like, they've got plenty of add-ons and stuff.
So I mean, that's just themes.
Yep.
So for the add-ons, we're talking same amount or more.
Probably more.
I mean, as you can see now, I mean, actually, it is. We're on Mozilla's. We're on Mozilla's website now, and the actual new version of Firefox is 3.6.3, and it's actually a smaller download than Internet Explorer. It's actually 7.7 meg. Whereas I think Internet Explorer is about 24, 23.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. Even though you get it with your versions of Windows, which, to be honest, if I was to be truthful, I mean, the new CEO of Microsoft, I know he's never going to listen to this podcast, but to be honest, if I was the CEO of Microsoft, I would turn around and say, okay, let's not bundle Internet Explorer together with Windows, but let's do what Mozilla do and give it as a free download.
Yeah.
I think they'd get more opportunities and they get more honest feedback that way. I mean, just looking at the add-on pages, I mean, you're talking.
Well, basically, at the moment now, Firefox have actually got a list. So what they've said is, the amount of add-ons that have been downloaded, so this is like me and someone else downloading the same add-on, will come as 2. It's had 1 billion?
1,903,627,159, if I've pronounced that correctly.
Yeah. And the add-ons that are in use
is
140 million, basically.
140 million plus. Now, it's just amazing looking at the categories here. I mean, alerts and updates, you've got 850. Appearance, which obviously means themes, is 1,021. Bookmarks, 915. Download management, you're talking 491, so that could be downloading music.
By the way, these are just the main ones.
These are just the main categories that I'm reading off here.
The numbers he's saying as well.
Yeah.
These are just the main ones and the recommended ones that Firefox.
Oh, these are just the recommended.
So there's more than this actually.
Oh my god. Okay. See, I'm shocked simply because I've never actually looked into this. Feeds, news and blogging. Obviously this is the RSS thing that we were talking about earlier, which Internet Explorer seemed to have bundled in to their package, which doesn't really work very well. You're talking 938. That's recommended, people. That's not only what we were taught. That's not the third party things and stuff like that. Language support, and now that's quite shocking. 453. Now, I know for a fact the language support for Internet Explorer goes by what Windows has.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware. If I am wrong on that point, please correct me at our email addresses, which we will mention at the end of the show. Photos, music and videos is 819 people. 819. This is just add-ons, recommended add-ons by Mozilla. And this is a shock. Look at this. Privacy and security, 630. And not only are you getting the best security option available from Mozilla, but you're also getting extra add-ons which you can use. And this is a new one to me. Social and communication, obviously including Facebook.
Yep.
And stuff.
1259.
I know. That's just stonking.
And then we were talking about tabs. 409 different things you can do to the tabs. Toolbars. 1122 toolbars. Web development.
Now,
1072.
Web development for Firefox, I think that means for improving the browser, is it? Or
yeah, but that again, Firefox actually made the browser in a way that you can actually edit the browser itself the way you want to. So you could actually
create your own theme and change it.
Create your own theme. You could change it. You could change settings in there about how quick pages reload and stuff, and how Firefox works and that. There's many changes you can make to it. Obviously, these come with a price to pay if you do it incorrectly.
Yeah, obviously.
If your browser won't work and you'll have to reinstall your browser again from scratch. But we've got plenty of them. So hopefully we can actually, make some good changes to the browser if we need to.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in conclusion, foregone conclusion then, we're going to say definitely Firefox 110%. And I know some people will be pernickety and facetious and say you can only go up to 100%, but I'm actually going to say 130% Firefox. Sorry, I don't care. I love the thing, and at the end of the day, I think we've made our point on this show today. Now we're going to go into some artists that we're going to review their latest albums, and also I'm going to give you the movie review that I promised you of How to Train Your Dragon. This is another artist. She was our artist of the week last week from the first show. This is Selena Gomez and the Scene and Naturally. Hope you like this song. Okay, that's Selena Gomez and the Scene, and that was her single off her new album, Kiss and Tell, Naturally. Now, as we've stated, we have been very biased in this show towards Internet Explorer, with our favour coming towards Firefox. Now, to be honest, we've stated our reasons why, I think, quite clearly, haven't we, Vish? I mean,
Firefox is just plain and simple, it's better.
Yeah, plain and simple. I mean, Internet Explorer is probably 2, 3, 4 years away from topping the equivalent of what...
2, 3, 4 years? You mean 2, 3, 4 light years, right?
Okay, fair enough. We'll go that far. We'll go light years. Now, in our next show, this show's had quite a bit of structure to it today. I mean, we've tackled one topic that we were asked to tackle by a good friend of ours. We were basically set the challenge of Firefox versus Internet Explorer. I think we've set the tone for structure to the show by doing this. Now, in the next show, I think we're going to start by covering basic maintenance and things like that to get people up to speed on what we think. Well, not what we think, but what we do to protect our computers here in the studio, as well as at home and on our laptops and stuff. We'll also still be doing music and movie reviews, but we're slinging in as much music as possible, simply because, again, it's music we enjoy listening to. I mean, my music taste is all over the place. Mine's primarily reggae and a little bit of country, a little bit of pop. But at the end of the day, if it sounds good, I'm going to play it. Do be warned. I mean, I do play some diabolical 80s tracks, and they will be coming in the next show. I do apologise, Vish, in advance. Just a quick note, there's a couple of shows in May which Vishal will be unable to attend due to, is it?
Family events and sporting events.
Yeah, because you've got a tournament coming up for badminton, and obviously your cousin's sister is getting engaged, so there's going to be the big engagement party and then the wedding, and I suppose the family's looking forward to that, are they?
Yeah, everyone's looking forward to it, but on one hand I'm kind of not, because there's just going to be too much hassle and too many people being everywhere around you, left, right and centre. Oh,
so it's going to be sort of claustrophobic in the house.
In case people don't know, I'm actually Asian, so I mean, like, my cousins and my aunts and everyone put together, I think we invited just close family and like about 2-3 families of friends, and it came to about 100-150 people.
Whoa, that's a lot of people.
So I mean, like, I do think that it is quite a big family if you think they're all going to be there.
Well, that's what weddings and engagement parties are for, to be honest. It's a massive celebration, isn't it? So get as many people. The more the merrier. Come on, you got to admit that.
Yeah, more the merrier, but you don't want it to be too rammed out, do you?
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, back to the show now. We are doing music reviews again. Vishal covers the R&B and rap side of stuff. We've got a couple of tracks coming up from Jay-Z featuring Mr. Hudson and Lil Wayne. I think these tracks are quite good. I'm still unsure about R&B and rap in the sense. I mean, I used to listen to a bit of Tupac in the early days. You know, I mean,
there's no way you could not listen to it.
Exactly. But the thing is, we had a crisis before the show because we were trying to find clean versions of these tracks, and it took us about an hour to actually find clean versions of these tracks. I mean, Vishal obviously knows a few free downloading sites like mixtapes.
Yeah.
So you went on mixtapes, didn't you, to get these tracks? Again, any tracks that we play, any music we play, is copyright to the artists.
Yeah, we only play the music just to put on air. Once the music's been played on air, we delete the music and we don't keep the music for our own personal use.
The only time we ever keep the music, if it's myself, is if it's music I've bought through iTunes. I don't condone downloading albums because it does harm the music industry. I know people will say, "Oh, go on, get off. You know, you probably do download music." Well, yeah, I admit I download music, but I download it legitimately through places like iTunes, and Visuals put me onto mixtapes and
because mixtapes are free. You don't have to, unless it's a mixtape that you have to pay for. In general, mixtapes are free, and surprisingly enough, quite a lot of the music that you will hear on mixtapes is pre-release material that hasn't even come out yet. So, for example, I'll give you an example. I was trying to think. An old song with Rihanna and Neo, "Hate That I Love You."
Yeah.
That came on a R&B mixtape. That came out in November 2007. It was released not as a single, but it was released in the UK for radio and music video. And no word of a lie, I heard that song that year in February.
In February?
Yep.
How
I had that song in February. I already had that song. I actually gave that song to one of my good mates, and he absolutely hated it.
Seriously?
And then when he heard it again later on
God.
that year, he was like, "Have you heard that song?" Yeah. Oh, it's actually a good song. Yeah, that's the song I gave you in February, the one that you seem to hate so much. And he was like, "No way." I was like, "Yep." Exact same song you heard about 7-8 months before that.
Now, we hope you've enjoyed the show today. At the end of now, well, I'm going to play. Now, this is a bit unusual for us because we're such on a such time restraint. We're just going to be going over the 2-hour mark with these. Now, this is I'm going to play 2 songs consecutively, and then I'm going to get into my review of How to Train Your Dragon, which I went and watched yesterday. And Vish, I do recommend this film. It's laugh out loud. I think it's hilarious. It's one that caught my eye this year. Another one that's caught my eye, which I may do a review on in the next show, is Hot Tub Time Machine with Kevin Spacey and the guy out of Miss March, the one who played Horsedick.mpeg, I think his character name was. And I mean, what a name. I mean, I would say, you know, these next 2 artists, we're going to review their albums. I can't remember the album titles off by heart. I do apologise. Now, I hope I pronounced this name correctly. This is a Demi Lovato track, Remember December, and I think this is off her album Now and Again, I think the album's called. I'm not too sure. This is an album that I bought off iTunes. I think it's a really good album, and this is a tune that caught my eye from that album, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. So here it is, Demi Lovato and Remember December. Okay, that was Taylor Swift and Breathe there. That's 2 of the artists, another 2 artists that we've got under review. Yep. So that's Ray Cyrus, Back to Tennessee, Miley Cyrus, Time of Our Lives, I think the album's called, and Taylor Swift, Fearless, and Demi Lovato with Remember December, which is off her album Now and Again, I believe it's called. Now, yesterday I went to, I believe it was Star City or the Odeon, I can't remember which, to watch a very, very funny film called How to Train Your Dragon. Now, I'm just going to do a quick thing on this because I know Vishal's got a couple of songs to introduce from 2 albums that he's reviewing in his R&B and rap section.
Yep.
Now, I think it's a great family film. It's hilarious from start to finish, and it does tug on the heartstrings, and it is a bit of a tearjerker towards the end. But definitely well worth watching, well worth spending the money on. And to a good friend of mine who said, let's go to the cinema yesterday, I do apologise, but I had to go and be unbiased. I didn't want anybody to sort of interrupt my viewing experience of the movie.
He's definitely old.
I'm definitely losing it. You can definitely tell my age. Now, guys, I'm going to hand you over to Vishal while I pop out of the studio for a second, and so Vishal can introduce his tracks and the albums that he's reviewing and why he's reviewing these albums. So take it away, Vish.
I will be reviewing in the future Jay-Z's album, The Blueprint 3. I'll definitely be reviewing that album. Few very, very good songs actually. One of which I'll be playing now, which is his final track of the album, which is Young Forever, although some people will call it Forever Young. It's produced by Kanye West, and here it is, Jay-Z and Mr. Hudson, Young Forever. And that was our song, Jay-Z featuring Mr. Hudson, Young Forever, or as some people say, Forever Young. Our next song will be Lil Wayne off his album Rebirth. It's called Drop the World, and it's got Eminem in it. Very, very good song. Just recently, over the last month or so, music videos have started appearing on Kiss and everything on TV. So if you do catch a glimpse of that song, be sure to listen to it. Very, very good song off a very good album from Lil Wayne. This is Lil Wayne featuring Eminem. Drop the World.
Now we were just having a off the mic debate here for show. I think we're going to call it show 5, the big VLC versus Jet Audio. Audio. Now, Vishal is setting his ways about Jet Audio. He's not budging off the fence, and I'm in there fighting for VLC, but I'm at this moment downloading Jet Audio from their website. And I may have both. I'm going to have both installed on my laptop here at the studio.
Well, basically, let me put it to you this way. The confidence that you heard me talking earlier about how rubbish Internet Explorer is compared to Firefox, I'm talking in that exact same confidence that VLC is nowhere near as good as Jet Audio. And I know because I've practically used every single media player you could possibly think of. And I guarantee you I probably have used every single media player you can think of.
Yeah, well,
I've had DivX, I've had QuickTime, I've had normal Windows Media Player, I've used all the previous ones, I've had Media Player Classic, both versions of that, I've had VLC, I've had Jet Audio, you name it, I've had Total Video Player.
No, Total Video Player, no, that was just rubbish.
I've had practically all the media players you could think of. I've had DivX, you name it, I've probably downloaded it and used it. Free versions, everything, I've used them. And I guarantee you, Jet Audio blows them all out. Okay,
we're going to leave this debate for show 5. I think we'll do our separate research for that show. What do you reckon, Vish? Do our separate research and then come see what goodies we come up with for the listeners out there.
Definitely.
Now, on this we are separated, but we're going to give a shout out to our lovely Facebook group. We're going to give a shout out to a couple of people that are on the group. You may have heard us mentioning their names on the show today. They are artists that we are going to be reviewing.
Yes, we definitely will.
And we won't pull any punches, but we will be sort of, how can we put it, independent in our thinking.
Oh yeah, we're definitely independent in our thinking, no doubt about that.
Well, that may be the wrong terminology to use, but we're gonna give it our best shot to review their albums fairly, and not criticise it too heavily. I would say, now, this next artist we're going to play when we log off, you'll recognise from things like High School Musical, Thunderbirds,
yeah,
and the most recent one, which is Band Slam, and she does an amazing song at the end of that, and I believe she's got an amazing singing voice. Same with all our artists we play, and that's just me kissing arse basically.
Which apparently he's very good at.
Yeah, but it has to be done at the end of the day. Now,
age kicking in again.
Oh, will you stop with the age jokes? It's not fair. Look, he's sat next to me laughing his head off. At the end of the day, yeah, I am reaching 30. I'm going to give him a twat around the back of the head in a minute. But at the end of the day, with anything we review, we're going to be fair. If it's a great track, we're going to say it's good, aren't we? We're not just going to sit there and say, oh, it's rubbish. We're going to form an opinion. We also want your opinions on anything we review, and get in touch with us with your software questions. Get in touch with us with your hardware questions as well. We're looking forward to...
Even if you just want general advice, like for example, I need to buy a new PC or a new laptop, where do you suggest I should be looking for it?
Yeah, exactly.
We don't mind giving you advice on things like that as well.
Yeah, exactly. We really don't mind. Just send us your email. Mine is david@PCTechRadio.com.
Mine is vishal@PCTechRadio.com.
And for any advanced orders on our merchandise, it's admin@PCTechRadio.com. That is for any advanced orders on our merchandise from our shop. Unfortunately, poor Sam is still sort of struggling at the moment to get the website fully operational. It is up and running. It is there, but there's still a few bits and pieces to do. And at the end of the day, we apologise. I mean, we've started to run before we can walk, and we hope you've enjoyed the show today. And like we always say, all the copyright of all the songs that we play are copyrighted to the artists, not to us, and we don't have any involvement. And also, just a quick shout out to Matt Rand. Matt, your tracks at the moment have been amazing. I've loved each one that I've played. Sorry if I've misread the titles of the tracks. That is my fault. But a quick shout out as well. Matt will be here at the end of June for an interview in the studio. I forgot to mention that, Vish. Matt has agreed to come up and do an interview to
Nice.
let us know his influence and what influenced his style of music and where he got his passion for music from. Now, before we log off, just like to give a shout out to everybody who's listened today and thank them for putting up with us, basically. And putting up with our opinion on Firefox and Internet Explorer. I'm looking forward to the 5th show, actually, because I want to whip Vishal's ass on this VLC and media player debate with this Jet Audio thing. You know,
Jet Audio wins.
look,
Hands down.
look. At the end of the day, let's not get into a grudge match on air. You know, because otherwise it's going to be unfair.
I know, I've already won, so.
Right, basically guys, we're logging off. Hope you've enjoyed the show. I'm giving a shout out to my cousin Christine, my cousin Michael. Thanks for your feedback, mate. Love you loads. Love to all my family. Dad, love you. I know you're out abroad and you're working very hard. Can't wait to see you when you're back. I'm giving a shout out to my little brother. Hopefully, little bro, I'll be up in the Lake District soon to come and see you.
And I'm definitely going to give a shout out to everyone who supported me. Facebook, phone calls, text messages.
Yeah, true.
Seen me in person. Shout out to everyone. Thank you for your support. Couldn't have done it without you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't have done it without you guys. And we do take the negative feedback a little bit harshly, but we do take it on the chin. And we hope the audio levels have been really well for this show, don't we, Vish? I mean, we have had a few problems in the first 2 shows.
Yeah, we should be fine anyway for today.
Yeah, for today, hopefully. Remember, direct all your feedback to the email addresses. They're on the Facebook group, PCTechRadio. For all the music review, if you want to leave your comments for any music we're reviewing, please, that is musicreview@PCTechRadio.com. And for the movies that we're reviewing, again, I know it was a short one for How to Train Your Dragon, but again, it's a good family fun movie. It's laugh out loud. It's the film itself is just really funny. I really recommend it to go and watch, especially in 3D, because it's absolutely amazing. Now we're going to log off, and this is another artist that we've got under review, and it's Vanessa Hudgins. As you probably guessed with the intro earlier, you'll know her from High School Musical, Thunderbirds, and the most recent one, which is Band Slam, which I think I'm going to try and get hold of the final song that's performed in Band Slam, because I just think it's an absolutely awesome track. I'll probably download that from iTunes. So guys, we're logging off. Hope to see you in the next show. Show 4 will be covering basic PC maintenance, and we'll also be doing an intro for show 5, which is the dreaded VLC versus Jet Audio. Vishal's looking at me as if he's going to kill me, but at the end of the day, I'm sticking to my guns. We'll soon see.
I know I've already won, so
we'll soon see what happens.
I'm confident.
Guys, we're logging off. Hope you've enjoyed the show. This is Vanessa Hudgins, and this is Let's Dance. And before we actually log off, we are reviewing her album V and Identified. Sorry, I'm trying to get my words out there. That's Vanessa Hudgins' albums V and Identified. So we should have a review on show 6, which is going to be the review show. I think we'll call that one. And we will be doing some PC stuff on show 6, so don't worry, it won't all be music. I think we'll work out what we're going to do for show 6 after show 5, won't we?
Yeah, definitely.
So, you know, but show 4 is going to be all about basic PC maintenance, and we're going to do some comparisons between some antiviruses. So, hope to see you then, and hope you've enjoyed today's show. See you again. Logging off. Okay, we're logging off now, guys. Hope to see you again on show
See you later.
4 and 3. So, peace.